Rome 8, verse 28, it said that all things work together for good to those who love God. One of the Murtadin gave the testimony how God reconciled him to his family. Murtadin is the one who converted from Muslim to the Christian faith. One day he heard the news about his nephew being sick and in coma for a few months in the hospital. But he hesitated to come to see his nephew because scared to meet his father and his family. So that night, he and his wife prayed together whole night for the recovery of the nephew. So the next morning, a neighbor come to ask a favor if the neighbor can leave the motorcycle because they want to go to another city. At that time, was that the Murtadin asked the permission if they can use the motorcycle to go to see his nephew in the hospital. So arriving at the hospital, the people in the lobby was very busy answering the phone call and always ask him to wait in the lobby. While he is waiting in the lobby, suddenly his father appeared with his nephew. And we know that the meeting was inevitable anymore, right? His nephew telling the story how he saw that this Murtadin come to pray for him last night, and after that he was healed and calling his name to the nurse. But he explained that he didn't go to the hospital last night because he and wife praying at home the whole night. So at that time, the father invite him to go to the house. So since then, the relationship with the family was restored. This is the happy ending story, right? So we see various events that occur in the situation. It started from the news of his nephew being sick. Then the story how God prepared the vehicle for him to go to the hospital, and we see again how God made the people in the lobby ask him to wait until unexpected meeting with his family. So we see here all of this situation become a packet of God's scenario that lead to the happy ending. Right, so like we heard in the Rome 8 for 28 that all things work together for God. All work together for good to those who love God. So in here, the situation bad or good work together to bring the happy ending. According what God's scenario for everybody, the believer who love Him. So we see the story in the Bible also happen in the Joseph life, right? Joseph go through the whole situation in his life and started from being the favorite son of his father, and after that sold as a slave, after that being imprisoned, but ending his life with happy ending, being the number 2 person in Egypt. But we also learn the King Saul. The King Saul is the chosen God people to become a king of Israel, but ends with a sad story when God rejected King Saul. Even though the story of Judas Iscariot, right? Judas Iscariot is one of the Jesus chosen disciple. But we learn the story how Judas Iscariot life ending his life in fame. So even though Saul and Judas Iscariot were God chosen people, but they did not experience God's promise in Rome 8 verse 28. Why? Because even though there are God's chosen people, remember this, even though there are God chosen people, but they do not live as God's lovers. This is very important truth for us to live as a God's lover, so that the beautiful packet of God's scenario become our part and ending with a happy ending as what the promise in Rome 8 verse 28, because it said it's only for those who love Him. One truth that we must understand in here, that every believer is a God-chosen people, but not all are people who are known by God. So everybody chosen by God, but not everybody known by God. Why? Because when it's come to being the chosen God, God love play a role in the situation. But when it come being known by God, it is our love play an important role. Because 1 Corinthians 8 verse 8, it said, he who loves God is known by God. Therefore, learn not to be satisfied only with the status as a chosen people, but enter a deeper dimension of faith to become people who are known by God because we love God. So we experience the happy ending. All things works together for good to those who love Him. So in here, we're gonna learn. We are not satisfied just only by the chosen people, but we have to live as a God lovers. Being a God lovers is more important and complete our calling as a believer, as a chosen by God. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are not only the chosen people, but live your life as a God's lover. Thank you so much. God bless.